Former South African Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka and the Amazulu King Misuzulu kaZwelithini are expected to lead a national men's march today against gender-based violence. Well, that's ahead of International Men's Day. So the march will start at the King Dinuzulu Park and proceed to the Kingsmead Stadium. SABC News reporter Bongani Gema is live for us there at that march. Bongani, good morning to you. Thanks indeed for your time. I see that there's quite a number of people that have gathered there already. Talk us through the proceedings of today and this conversation that will be had about gender-based violence as we look towards International Men's Day.
Well, indeed, good morning to you and good morning to the SABC viewers. As you can see, the procession is here now, just outside the Durban City Hall. They started at the King Dinuzulu Park, as you said. They made their way up West Streets. We are now here at the City Hall waiting to be joined by the mayor, because the program says that the mayor of eThekwini, Mqolisi Kaunda, and the premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Musa Dube are also going to be joining the march. So we're still waiting. We're not sure if they are going to be coming here at the City Hall or they will meet us at the Kingsmead Stadium. I understand that the program says from here at the Dlamini Park, just opposite the workshop shopping center, Amazulu will also be joining the procession, making their way to the Kingsmead Stadium. But as you can see, most of the marchers here are policemen. I did try to organize maybe a few of them that you can speak to us, but because of protocol, they cannot come to us. But we did try to get a few other people who are joining, because as you can see here, it's different organizations also who are part of the march. Our Brothers for Life, as you can see, the placards reading "Stop Killing Women" and "Let's protect our women, let's protect LGBT not in our name." As you can see, the banner of the SAPS, they're saying that they are men for change. They are standing against gender-based violence. As you know, that's the recent stats by the Minister of Police, Peggy says that KwaZulu-Natal is one of the provinces with the highest number, of gender-based violence. And so, you remember that King Misuzulu is also going to be a huge part of this inaugural National Men's Day. Is also scheduled to make, an address at the Kingsmead Stadium. And you remember that he was very passionate about issues against gender-based violence. In a number of his speeches, he will say that, that the province needs to stand up, and fight against the scourge of gender-based violence. But I want to bring in a few gentlemen, who are brought forward, who are going to be telling us why they decided to be part of this march, because a clarion call was made that all men in the province should come out, because this is a very important discussion that needs, to be heard. I mean, this is including, the killing of children, which we can see is also a huge problem in our province. My brother, we thank you very much for your time. Just give us your name and your surname. Maybe if you're coming from an organization, tell us which organization you're coming from. Tell us, why did you decide to be part of this huge march?
Okay, my name is Lindogo Shelata. I'm coming from an organization called Higher Health of South Africa. Higher Health is an implementing agent of PHET that rolls out health and wellness programs in the PSET sector, in post-school education and training sector. Well, no, maybe the reason one is here. We are responding to the call firstly to the call of Ubayete, His Excellency, the Majesty, King Misuzulu kaZwelithini. We are here on his call. Also, because we do understand the impact of GBV in our society and communities, and how it's devastated our society. It goes from physical violence to mental health. The children of the abused, or the survivors, the trauma that they're undergoing. So that is why now we've taken a call to say, we're also calling out on all men out there to say, let us stop gender-based violence, not only men, or even women, because there is a narrative that somehow is being created that it's only men who constitute abuse. So even men are victims. So there are men who are victims of GBV. So we need now to take away stigmatization in the subject of GBV and call for an inclusive society. One of the reasons you see young men wanting to distance themselves, it's because of the stigmatization they usually find. However, we take an unapologetic decision when we say the abusers must rot in jail, and we are calling for a society to be inclusive and stop killing women and children, also men.
you know, the National Men's Day, this is the first time that it's being held, but there have been discussions before against gender-based violence. Men have been called into different circles trying to maybe speak to them against this scourge, but it seems that it carries on. What really needs to be done that will end this scourge in our society?
No, I think it starts with conscientization. We need to conscientize our communities in all spheres of the society. And our people need to be taught, because the reality is, even when you look at the statistics that you receive on anywhere, the statistics will show you only the cases that are reported. There are cases of GBV that are happening, but people are not aware that they are victims of GBV. So we need to teach everyone in the society. We need to teach women, children, and men of the society. Then we will be able to conquer this pandemic.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my brother. Let me bring in another gentleman who's also a huge part of this march. He was singing very loudly. He's the one who's been starting most, you know, of the songs that are being sung. Yes, so we thank you very much for your time. Just tell us your name, your surname, and if you're coming from an organization, which organization, and just tell us why you also decided to be part of this march.
Okay, igama lami nguSiboniso Cele, sivela kwa-Iris. La njengoba sikhona namhlanje kuMgqibelo, sizophendula futhi sizoveza imizwa yethu yokuthi sime lesisihlava sokuhlukumezana kwezingane nabantu besifazane kanye nabantu besilisa. Into mina ngiyibonayo nesiyibonayo sizelela omunye nomunye wethu esimbonayo namhlanje uzalwe umuntu wesifazane, okusho kufanele sisabe ihlazo kusukela ekhaya, emndenini, kuya kumakhelwane, kuya emgaqweni, ukuze sikwazi ukuthi siyile lento yokuhlukumezana.
Let me bring in a policeman. You'll remember, you know, recently here in our province, we saw 2 women who were killed by a police officer. Another issue of gender-based violence that made news here in our province. But I have with me a police officer who is also a part of this march. As you can see, his placard there reading, "Real men protect women and children." Sir, we thank you very much for your time. Can you have your rank, your name, your surname, and tell us, as police officers, you know, we trust you to try and end this scourge of gender-based violence, but it seems you're also seeing that there's a huge problem. You decided to be a part of this march. Why?
My name is Colonel Twala. I'm the champion or chairperson of Men for Change in KwaZulu-Natal. I'm not talking on behalf of SAPS, since there's protocol in the SAPS where a communication officer needs to address issues like you raised the killing of the killing that is taking place in terms of gender-based violence. But initially, as Men for Change in KwaZulu-Natal, Amadoda, we decided to gather and discourage the scourge of violence that is happening in KwaZulu-Natal.
Maybe what do you think needs to be done? Because clearly, you know, something is missing. Many different tactics have been tried, but it seems that they are failing.
We need to always not be discouraged. We need to come together with our stakeholders around KwaZulu-Natal. We got different stakeholders. We got eThekwini, we need to partner with them as SAPS and always discourage the scourge of violence.
Speak to us about programs that are inside the SAPS that try to end the scourge of GBV.
We do have Men for Change in KwaZulu-Natal. We do have a women network, especially internal programs that we are having. We are conducting crime awareness campaigns in different areas. Recently, we're going to have Imbizo Yamadoda, KwaZulu-Natal, where we are discouraging the gender-based violence amongst ourselves as SAPS, including the community at large. We are also meeting with Indona. We are also meeting with Amakhansela. We've got different stakeholders meeting at all times. We do have our PRO Ubaba Ukaba. Ubaba Ukaba is also part of us as Men for Change, KwaZulu-Natal.
Baba Ukaba, can you just give us your full name, your surname, your rank, and also speak to us? I mean, Ukhanya Twala spoke to us about the programs that you have within the SAPS, but I want you to tell us, are they really getting any results?
My name is Colonel Mosakaba. I am a PRO for Men for Change in the Department of Police. We as Men for Change is busy trying to instill the culture of manhood to our male members, because you must remember that while we're handling the victims of gender-based violence, we also sometimes become victims from our own environment and become perpetrators. So Men for Change is actually trying to educate and raise awareness within the organization as SABC, that even though we are facing these challenges as men, as husbands, as brothers, as uncles, but when we are in blue uniform, we need to be strong and be firm when handling and dealing with especially the victims of gender-based violence and femicide.
Thank you very much for your time. Those are representatives of the SAPS. I want to try and bring in women, because women are also a part of this march. Yes, the call was made to men to come out in their numbers, but as you can see, women are also a part of this march. As you can see, that banner that is being held by two women who are part of this march. I want to speak to one of them and hear their take on this issue. Bosisi, we are live on television. You don't want to be on television. You are from the Dlamini Foundation, right? Yes. Can you just tell us, as the Kuku Foundation, why did you decide to be part of this march? Because gender-based violence, women are the highest victims of gender-based violence, but we see also parts of today's proceedings.
Ngaphendula isifo igugu Dlamini isebenza kakhulu ngo gender based violence, so that's why size lana ngoba sithi nathi asihambisani nalento yokuthi abantu besilisa abahlukumezeke, because kunalento yokuthi abantu besifazane kuphela abahlukumezekayo, abantu besilisa banake ukuthi nabo bahlukumezeke as much abantu besifazane behlukumezeka, but nabantu besilisa funa sibabheke ukuthi nabo bayahlukumezeka. That's why ukuthi size lana sizokhalisana kanye nabantu besilisa ukuthi gender based violence kubantu besilisa is enough.
Kwigugu Dlamini Foundation mangake mhlambe ama cases enibhekana nawo abantu besilisa ke manje abahlukumeza abantu besifazane, nokuthi niwahandelisha kanjani?
Ngingeke ngibe naso isibalo umuntu ongakwazi ukuthi abe naleso sibalo i-social worker esuke lidila nalo ma cases, but kuma programs esuke siwenza njengegugu Dlamini adila ngo gender based violence ayaba khona ama cases la ukuthi khona abantu besilisa bakwazi ukuthi speak out ngezimo ababhekana nazo njengabantu besilisa nangendlela abahlukumezeka ngayo.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Well, there you have it. Those are the different organizations, and residents who decided to be part of this inaugural National Men's Day. We understand that the former Deputy President of the Republic and former Executive Director of UN Women, Dr. Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, is also going to be part of the program at the Kingsmead Stadium. I understand that's, yes, the Premier of the province, and the Amazulu Prime Minister, Prince Mangosuthu is also written on the program. So we're not sure exactly how long the program is going to be, but because by now, on the program it's written that they're supposed to be at the Kingsmead Stadium by now, but it seems that there has been a few delays, but we'll be here to bring you all the latest.
Bongani, thank you very much indeed. Looks to be a bit warmer there in Durban in comparison here to rainy Johannesburg. Keep safe out there, and we'll speak to you a little bit later on. Thank you very much indeed. Bongani Gema, live to us from Durban there. Let's go.